Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Claire Miller. I am a professional writer. I've published 4 children's books and I am the story creator. And what I'd like to do is to read the 5th and final part of my story, which I wrote over Christmas, and my story is called The Moment of Truth. And Jenny and Tom are the main characters, and here is the description of it. Jenny reads a message which sends her out into space, needing to be alone. Tom rescues her when her spacesuit starts to lose oxygen. Darkness stops her desperate attempts to get away from him. Back on Earth, she needs to decide if she wants to live. Can she trust herself or Tom ever again? What will she decide in her moment of truth? The first section is called The Message. Second section is called The Journey Home. The third section is called Recovery. The fourth is Watching and Waiting. And this one is The Decision. I hope you enjoy listening to this. Jenny curled up on the bed and gave in to her overwhelming feelings of hopelessness and loss. Her tears, the only emotion she had left. Her life wasn't just over, it was in pieces. She had no idea how to live or what she was going to do. There was nothing to live for now. All she felt was despair. A hand was on her shoulder. Someone was beside her. She stopped crying, aware she hadn't heard the room door opening. She turned to see who was there, hoping it was Tom. He was the only person she wanted to see right now. She had to say sorry for not trusting him. "You're not Tom," she said, seeing the director. "I'm not, and I'm sure he'd be pleased you were thinking of him. Do you want to see him? I know where he is." She hesitated. Did she really want to see him? Was it a good idea to have feelings for anyone? More tears fell. All she was aware of was the sound of her own cries and the director's hand on her shoulder. Exhaustion overtook her eventually, silencing her crying. She let her body sink into the bed and closed her eyes, welcoming the darkness to hide in. "I have something for you. From Tom," the director said. She opened her eyes and saw the small black box on top of a note in front of her on the sheet. Slowly she reached for it, then withdrew her hand. She couldn't promise what the box represented. Her heart ached to have another look at the ring inside, to be reminded of the perfect moment between her and Tom. I don't want it," she said as more tears began to slide down her face. "I don't know what's in the note, but there are a few facts you need to be aware of when you're reading it. Tom has been suspended from active duty. Until I change my mind, he's grounded on Earth. He's spent every day watching you in the doctor's monitoring room since you both returned from the space station. I don't believe he can focus on anything else at the moment. I also believe you need time to recover from what happened at the space station. You're grounded too. There's plenty of time for you to talk to Tom, if you want to." Jenny stared at the director in shock. What was he suggesting? "Just say if you want to see Tom, he's watching you now and has been listening to everything I've been telling you." The director lifted his hand off her shoulder. "Give him another chance, Jenny. I've never seen him like this before. He asked me to tell you he'll always love you, whatever happens. All he wants is for you to be happy. He's ready to go into space again, so you'll never have to see him. He said he'd abide by your decision. I'm guessing he's asked you a question in the note. Please think carefully about your answer. I want you both to be happy. You'll have all the time you need if you decide you want to talk to him." She watched in amazement as the director walked out of the room, then wiped away the tears off her cheeks. Her eyes focused on the box and the note. Tom had spent every day watching her. He was watching us, listening to her now. She pushed herself upright and held the box and note in her hands. Could she trust him again? With trembling hands, she carefully placed the box on the covers and opened the note. Jenny, I love you. I always will. I want you to have the ring regardless of what you decide to do about us. Please accept it as a token of my affection for you. I'm sorry I distracted you at the changeover of the shift. I forgot to tell you about the faulty spacesuit. The commander told me the lock on the door of the faulty spacesuit compartment failed to shut because of an electronic problem. But I know it was my responsibility to tell you about it. If you had, you wouldn't have had your accident. I endangered your life with my carelessness. I'm also sorry I didn't make time to tell you about me helping Carol and David. I've put my name on the list for the next deep space mission. You deserve someone who will treat you properly. I don't want to be around as a constant reminder of someone who has caused you pain. All I ask is one more chance to see you, to say goodbye. Please tell the doctor what your decision is. Tom. Jenny put the note on the bed and picked up the box. She slowly opened it. The ring was as beautiful as she remembered it. The amber stone in the middle with diamonds on the shoulders of the gold band. It would take a leap of faith on her part to say what her heart wanted to say, and she was scared. She closed the box. Did she dare to trust herself? She took a deep breath, then spoke. The answer is yes. And that's the end. I hope you've really enjoyed it. If you have any comments on anything that you've heard in this video or any of my previous videos with the other sections of my story, please do put them there. I'd really just love to know what you think about this story, because I had such a great time writing it. And it was a departure for me to write a story from two different perspectives. If you'd like to know more about any more of my books, my website is www.clairemillerauthor.co.uk. Thank you very, very much for listening and watching to my video. Thank you.